Okay.
Get down. Go
So
play.
happy Wednesday, guys. Does this time work better? Or do you guys like 7:30 better?
8 is probably more realistic for me, but it's usually dependent on my schedule.
All right. Well then, I mean, Anita hasn't been doing her team calls, so like,
Yeah.
why don't we try and do 8 for a little bit to give everyone a little bit more time, and then when she picks back up, we can figure out what will work for everybody's schedule. All right. So how's everybody's day going so far?
Happy that it's time to relax after that.
How was your dinner, Tony? It looked good. I saw you post about it.
So good.
It was making me hungry looking at it.
I had a sangria and now I'm exhausted because, when you have like a drink and you're just like, you
It's
realize
like,
how tired you are until you have a drink.
I feel like it's like if you have one, you have to have two. It's easier to have two.
No, luckily I didn't because I had a drive and I knew that if I did, I would have felt guilty.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got home safely. Okay, so couple thoughts tonight, some announcements, some other good stuff. So it is what? So it's the 21st of the month. Still plenty of time to hit Success Club. Like personally, guys, I'll admit, like I haven't hit it yet. Like I was in Mexico and it was really hard the first 10 days of the month. And I did stuff while I was away, but I enjoyed my honeymoon and not as much as I would have done if I was here. So I'm still pushing. And if you saw Anita's live call in TIE the other day, it was friggin' amazing. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, go watch it. Like she opened up her heart. She was vulnerable. She was real. And she admitted, she's like, guys, I'm at SC -6. And I pledged to you guys I will be at 10 by the end of the month.
How do you get a negative?
A return. So it doesn't, so she hit like SC 77 in May, but then 3 people returned their challenge packs. And it doesn't deduct from that month. It takes it away from the current month. And then you get a negative. So she had 3 returns. It has happened to me one time and it sucked, but you'll learn. Yeah.
I think like when I first joined about.
Yeah. So, I mean, 3 people is all, we shoot to help. Success Club, like we say, is, or I like to call it the Lives Changed Club. It's helping 3 people. So 1 person with a challenge pack, Shakeology and the all access, 2 points. So just help 3 people. Next thing. So I posted the gem test, or the person, it's like the gems in there. I know some of you filled it or picked you. I did that because I thought it was really interesting to see what I was, to see like we all think we know what we're motivated by and our personalities and how we work and things like that. But it was kind of interesting to look at that a little bit more and realize who I am and how I work best. And it's good to know how, like, if you can pick out or even use it in your challenge groups, see what they are so you know what motivates them, any prospective clients. And I also ask you guys to do it because it's good for me to know, like, because I want to do things and run groups and trainings and challenges and things that will motivate you guys. I want to know what you guys like because we're all a little bit different. Like some people like a tank top, some people like a gift card, some people like recognition. Like I want to make sure like I'm doing things that you guys enjoy that will make you happy, so that's why it's also helpful for me to know what you guys are, and then we can use it in our businesses. So if you haven't looked through and kind of figured out who you are, let me know.
You should post that in one of your files for everybody to refer back to.
Yeah, that's the plan. I just didn't get a chance yet.
Pretty cool.
Another thing. So all 3 of you guys filled out the jot form with all the questions and stuff. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do that because I want to do, I was only able to do so much when I was working full time and planning the wedding. Like I have so many ideas and so many more things I want to do for our team. And now I have the time to do it. So also knowing what will help you guys, what your goals are. Like I want to work together as a team and all of us achieve those goals. So I'm already working on some new trainings. So thank you again for taking the time to do that. It was really helpful. And speaking of goals, we haven't talked goals in a while. I know you guys all filled them out, but I want to share a goal that I have for our team with all of you. We are about 6 months in the year, and there is still plenty of time to do big things for our team. And I know I want it, and I want our team to end 2017 as a 5-star elite team. Because yes, we all are technically a rank and diamonds, emeralds, whatever, but we are a team. So to end our year together saying we're an elite team, like, I think that would be really cool. And being a 5-star team means 5 of you have hit diamond, and I want to help any 5, 7, whoever wants to. I hit diamond, and I want to help you guys too. So if you want to push, I'm ready to push with you guys. So that is my goal for end 2017 as an elite team, a 5-star at least. We go bigger, that's awesome. But I believe in you guys, and I know we can do it, and I think it would be awesome. What do you guys think?
Awesome.
Okay, so that is my big goal. Like, it's a big goal. Like, I have to do a lot of work, and I know I'm pushing, and I'm ready to run with whoever wants to run, but I think it would be cool to push for as a team if you guys are up for it. All right. We'll talk more about that like another time. But so I do want to start working on doing more one-on-one calls too, to help make a plan, help everybody reach their goals. So that's coming in the next couple days, weeks. Another thing I want to do is starting July 3rd, it's a Monday. I'm going to put more information about it in our team page, but whoever wants to participate, I'm going to set up a Goal Crushers group, as I'm calling it. So we're starting the 3rd. The requirements in the group is just stay active, participate. There'll be a separate Facebook page from the Team Heart and Hustle. We're going to choose one book that we can all read together. Like, if someone wants to read something in addition, that's fine. But we'll all do one book together, talk about it, and post our bat every Thursday. So think about that if you'd like to participate. I think it would be awesome to kind of just push our goals together. Let's see. Okay, so I also want to do something really fun for our team, and I've been really thinking about it, and I hope you guys are interested. I want to do our first ever team retreat. We all get together for a weekend, thinking fall, and just have fun. Do team bonding, do activities, drink wine, whatever we want to do. But I have so many thoughts and things that I want to put together for you guys that I want to know if you would be interested. If we all picked a weekend to all get together.
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
I'm thinking, my first thought was a place I love even in the fall and the winter is the beach, because you can go see the ocean. It's just so peaceful and calm. And I started looking into houses we could rent, and they're really inexpensive. For a week, it was $700, but we'd only need it a weekend. So we all chip in. That's literally, I would ask that everyone pitch in for 2 nights, or if we want to do 3, we can do 3. And, we can take turns cooking and just be together. As we get closer, I want to run fun things. If you hit Success Club or do rank advance, I want to, say, okay, you don't have to pay, or do fun things so hopefully if we all work hard, maybe there wouldn't be any fee or anything like that. But I really want to do this for us. And I think it would be awesome for our team if we did it. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to keep working on it. What do you think?
I would do that.
Okay,
I love weekend getaways.
I know. And it would just be nice.
I will, as long as it's kind of local-ish, that would be fabulous.
Yeah. So we can work on it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that would be the challenge, is location and getting away.
So that's what I'm thinking.
I love the idea, but at the same time, I don't get away very much.
I know.
Where do you live, Ruby?
I am in Florida.
Florida, yeah. So
Florida.
That's where I feel like it might be a challenge. I mean, however, I'd love to go to Florida, and I do have family in Florida. So if we want to go to Florida, maybe I would do that. But if it's not Florida, then I'm thinking more of like just like a weekend getaway in like Pennsylvania, because I know that's where you guys are from.
Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Oh, boy,
where in New York are you, Tony?
I'm in Westchester.
You're in Westchester. Okay.
Yeah, and then I know Kayla's in Pennsylvania, and you're in Pennsylvania, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am.
But what part of Florida are you in, Ruby?
Pardon me?
What part of Florida are you in?
I am right in the northern part of Florida. I am between Jacksonville and Tallahassee and Lee.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to work on this, and we'll go more into that later. But I wanted to.
I know as far as beaches go, Carolina beaches are absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, that's
From
always
Kill Devil Hills and right on down through Myrtle Beach and stuff. It's all gorgeous beaches.
That's true too. I'll look into it. But I just want to tell you, like, that was my idea. And I really want to like put something really cool together for us because you guys all deserve it. And I think it would be really nice just to spend some time together and have fun. So
yeah, I love weekend getaways.
Okay, good. All right. I'm working on it then. Just wanted to say. All right. So we have that good stuff. And then I won't keep you guys too long tonight. I know everyone's tired. It's midweek. But I just wanted to like some of the things I gathered from what would help everybody most. There were different topics, and I thought I would just kind of, the next couple calls, kind of talk about some of the basics, make some videos. But what I wanted to start with tonight is just kind of to get back to basics. Like in this business, this is a business to build relationships. We're not here to sell products. We're not here to, kind of forget about people like, here, buy this and then see it later. Like the ultimate goal is to help people with their health and fitness goals, because then that empowers them to do everything else. Then they want to build the business. Then they feel like they can take on something else professionally, financially, whatever it is. So back to basics is just finding new people to join our network, because that is so important. We're eventually going to go through our warm market. So we constantly need to be adding people to our network. So that's what I kind of want to talk about to start with, because I think everyone could use a refresher and throw in what you guys do that helps. So I know for me, I go through and I send at least 20 new friend requests every single day. Like I go through and I'll look at people who have accepted my friend request. I'll go through and I'll friend people we have 3 or more mutual friends with. And I look at their page and I say, okay, is there something on their page I can start a conversation with? Do I want to be friends with this person? And then I'll start a conversation when they accept my friend request. Like, thanks so much for accepting me. I like connecting with new people who I think will be new and positive friends. And I ask them a question. That is something I do every single day. Go through, add people you went to high school with, add people you went to college with. There is a memory jogger in the back office, and it gets you to think about people, hairdresser, doctor, whoever, that you can then add to your network. Because we constantly need to be adding to our network. More people see our stuff, more people who will then want to join us. Join Facebook groups, add value, so then people want to be friends with you and take that value you've been giving them outside of the Facebook group. Like I recently joined a couple groups, Life After the Ring, like after getting engaged, Young Wives Club, a couple of things like that for people like me who I can connect with, because you always need people to find people you can connect with. Like I'm not going to go join like a mom group because people are going to be like, what's this girl doing? Or like, I don't have a pet. I'm not going to join any pet people groups. Soon enough, we're getting a dog in August. But I'm so excited. So, look for groups that you can find, add value to, because it's almost like once you give value, you can ask for something in return. Like if you just go, like I did this in the beginning, I friended people from the groups that I made one comment on their thing and they're like, who is this girl? So things like that, start conversations. Like one of the questions I saw on the form when you guys filled out is how to start new conversations. Go into every new person you come in contact with the intent to find a new friend. Like if you go in with the intent to be friends, you come off so much better than if you go in with the intent to sell and, oh, this person has to join my challenge group. Like be interested, not interesting. Like I ask people, like, I comment, oh my God, your cover photo is really cool. Like, cause I notice that stuff. Like the photography is really good. And I try, but I'm not always good at that. Or like, I notice people who have their profile picture is them in their wedding dress. That's something I can easily connect with and start a conversation about. Or people that have dogs in their profile or their cover photo. So I say, oh my gosh, like, any tips, or what kind of dog is that? My husband and I are looking for a dog of our own. Like, just look for things you can connect with that person about to just easily start a conversation. Like if I look at someone's page and I don't know what I would say to them, I don't friend them, because then it's going to be hard to connect with that person. So it's going to be then hard to be friends and then initiate the conversation to talk about a challenge group or the coaching opportunity. Just so that's my biggest piece of advice, is just look for people that you want to be friends with and try to build that relationship. And also another way to build a relationship is your Facebook page. Like that is the first glimpse of us. I know I've said it before and I may sound a little bit redundant, but that's the first glimpse of us that people get. When we send them that friend request or when we send them that message, they're going to look at our page and say, who is this? If they don't recognize our name. And if they don't see pictures of our faces or our families or significant others or, stuff like that, they're going to be like, wow, like, why do I want to talk to this person? Like, what can you do that draws them in? Like, add value. Are you posting motivation? They always say, I think it's like you have 10 seconds to make an impression on Facebook. So if they scroll your page and don't really get an idea of who you are, they're not going to respond. But if they say, oh, this girl works out, she likes fitness. Oh, this girl likes to cook. Oh, this girl like shares good tip. Like she shares recipes. She does this for a living. She's a dietitian. She's a mom. Like it's like our way to make an impression before we even get into the conversation. So post, like I always say, post with purpose. Ask yourself when you post, now what? So what is this person getting from your post? Are they getting a laugh? Are they getting inspiration? Are they getting a fitness move? Are you getting them to feel an emotion, like they feel proud for something you did, or you shared something you overcame and, you took them through the journey? Or just like always think about like what you're posting and how someone's going to feel reading it, because that's another way to build a relationship. So that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight, with building relationships with friend requesting people, with starting new conversations, and with your Facebook page. So do you guys have any questions? Anything that's working well for you with building relationships, that you're struggling with building relationships? Anything you want to add? So turn it over to you guys.
I find the initial part that you were just talking about really easy. The Facebook friends are coming in, going to the page and like you said, looking for that piece. If they look really interesting, then I PM them. And if they don't, I just leave them in there as a friend, because a lot of them are, already been added, and I just move on to the next one. And I can get that going. I've had some great stuff. I've got a couple of groups that I've been sliding some of those people in, inviting them to that. They're not really for the business, but I'm hoping down the road as they get bigger, like one of them is just for coaches, because I've been in so many different things. I've got such a big network. I figured if I can get them in one place, it'll be a great place to dump an ad here and there for them too, let them know what I'm doing. In addition, where it's getting lost in the news feed. But when you take it from that point, it's kind of like, okay, getting to that official invitation for something is where I'm struggling. It's like, how do you bridge that conversation without them scooting straight out the door?
And I totally understand what you mean. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So I try and exchange like a couple messages back and forth, and then it's almost like you've kind of put in the time and say, hey, like, so I was talking with this girl today, single mom, 2 kids, just trying to like starting a conversation. Like I kind of said, oh, that's so cool, you're a single mom, like, cause she was like around my age. So that's why like I friended her. I was like, I want to do that one day. Like, how do you like being, and we're just kind of talking. She's like, well, they were kind of an accident. I got pregnant at 16 and then 17. I was like, oh, like, trying to keep it positive. I was like, so like, do you guys have any plans for the summer? And she's like, no. Literally, just no. I was like, all right, well, like, I'm running this cool group this summer. Like, do you want to participate? And I slid in an invite that way. Sometimes if the person doesn't answer the last question I asked them, I'll wait a day or two, and then I'll say, hey, I'm not sure if you've seen, like, my love for health and happiness on my page. Like, I'm looking for a couple, strong and fun women who might have some goals to join me for a virtual summer boot camp. Do you know of anyone that might be interested? And I always say, do you know of anyone that might be interested? Because they'll either do three things. They'll say no, well, four things. They'll say no, they won't answer, or they'll say, oh, I might be. So that's three things. You know what I mean? And if you kind of word it like that, do you know of anyone that might be interested? It's not like you're saying, hey, you need to lose weight and work on a health goal. Come join me. Sometimes I'll say something along the lines of, if I'm talking to someone and they like seem really cool or like that I get along with, because you kind of get a feeling from people. I'll say something along the lines of like, I'm something like, hey, like this may seem kind of random. I run these virtual boot camps where me and friends get together, work on our health goals. I think you'd add a lot of value to the group. Do you think you might want to be a part of it? And if they say, oh, tell me more about that, I go right to the script that I posted in the team page. So when you join my group, it's a mix of health, fitness, you know what I mean? Literally, I take them right through that script. That's why it's there. And Needy gave that to me a year and a half ago, and I still use it. So if you've exchanged a message or two back, sometimes I just go in for the invite. Like,
yeah, I think if that person's interested, like, it doesn't hurt to ask. And if they're interested, they're going to say yes. If they're not, it's either they're not interested right now and you follow up at another day or another time. But you're better off. You won't know until you put yourself out there. I was surprised in the beginning. I was like kind of just doing this just to kind of say that I invited 3 people. And then like my answers that I get back would be like, wow, like I actually do want to do this. Like, so you'll be surprised. So I would just start getting comfortable with asking. The more you get comfortable, then you develop kind of your own script. If you don't want to use the ones that are already there for you, you can use them as like a guidance and then kind of create your own. And I do the same thing. Like I just pretty much like copy and paste and maybe modify a bit. Like if the person is also a dietitian, because I'm a dietitian, so that's something that I'll like kind of throw in there. It's like I love connecting with other RDs. Have you ever considered coaching online? Because like I might know that they do a practice like locally or something. So you kind of modify it for the person, but having your own script you just copy and paste is really helpful.
Mm-hmm. Like I know, like if I find a wording that's working, like I'll just like I have a Word document. Like I'm just like I kind of liked how I said this today. I'm just gonna like save it and like Tony, like you said, you never know until you ask. And you can say the absolute worst wording to the right person and they're going to say yes. And you could give the perfect wording to the wrong person and they're going to say no. Like if they're interested, they're going to be interested no matter what point or how you ask.
Yeah, it's about that. It's literally, I know sometimes it feels very like personal, but it's so not personal. Like it's all about the person themselves. If they're ready to make a change, ready to spend money, like whatever it is, it's literally more about the person than it is about you, even though it's going to feel very personal. And also I think I do this a lot. I judge people very often, like, and I kind of assume like if they will or won't be interested. And if I make that judgment that they're not going to be interested, I might not invite them. But we don't know people, especially versus based off of just like their profiles. Like you don't really know anyone, so it doesn't hurt to ask because you never know. And they might not be interested, but they might have a family that's a member that's interested. Or 3 months from now, if you're consistently posting, then they're going to reach out to you and be like, hey, are you still running those groups? the more you do it, the more people reach out to you, then you have to reach out to them.
You got it. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
And always, like I've said before, I think Ruby, you've been on the call when I've said it, is think of an invite like you can't attach yourself to an outcome, because then you're just going to worry too much about it. Like, think of an invite like planting a seed. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say no first, or you're going to have to ask them more than once. Like, I've asked people multiple times. Like, I've worked on people for like 6 months and they finally joined me. Like, you think of an invite like planting a seed. You water that seed, you post, they see your stuff, they see your challengers getting results, they see you getting results. You invite them again in a couple months and they're like, you know what? Yes, I'm ready. So it's great when someone says yes right away, but that doesn't always happen, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. So inviting gets easier and easier. Like, I know, so I have some months where I'm like, but I'm like, what am I afraid of? They say no, on to the next one.
Then you know to move on to the next, exactly.
And you're that much closer to a yes. Like,
yeah. And I think following up is really, really key. Mm-hmm. Like that said, like, because there might be people that say no initially and then they say yes, or there's just people like, I know me, like I'll open up an email and then like I forget to go back to, I think I'm going to go back to it and I don't. So I'll open up a message on Facebook and I mean to respond, but I get busy with work. So unless you're like constantly asking them, it may not have answered just because they're busy. Like it might not.
That happens all the time.
Because they're not interested. And then you kind of like say, so I'll do this, like I'll hit someone up on Facebook, they open it, they don't answer. Then I hit them up on Instagram. They're like, oh, sorry. Like I meant to answer you on Facebook. I just got busy or whatever. Like, so sometimes like I said, like, don't be afraid to reach out to people again and again. You might think like you're annoying, but you're not. Like you're trying to help them.
Prime example, I had this lady who I did a shout out on Instagram, got a bunch of emails, ran a virtual sneak peek, which I'm throwing out a lot of jargon that you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Don't worry. Something Anita taught me and we'll get there. Did a virtual sneak peek into a challenge group and into coaching. This lady was interested, sent us all this information. We're emailing, sent back a question, answered. Didn't answer that email, but I could see she read it. Sent her another one. Could see she read it. Sent her another one. I could see she read it. I'm pretty sure I sent her 2 or 3 emails and I could see she read it. I'm just like, hit her up on Facebook. She goes, I was like, hey, like, I know your mom, life gets busy. Like, I know I'm bad with my email. Sometimes I'm better at Messenger. I thought I'd try over here to like see if it was better for you. Like, if you're still interested, I'd love to chat further. She goes, oh my gosh, you're right. I have 3 email accounts. I totally forgot. Like, can you tell me more again? Literally, like, I literally have followed up with her like 4 times. So like, life is busy. Or I'll say like, hey, like, I know life gets busy. I haven't seen your name come back across my inbox. Like, wanted to pop in, like, see if you're still up for joining the group. And people are like, oh yeah, I read your message. I'm sorry, I forgot. Like, because I know personally, I don't open a text message or open a Facebook message until I can respond, because I know I'll get sidetracked. Like, people do that.
I try to do that, but I'm not good at that. But I try to do that too, because I'm like, then they're going to think that I just am not answering, but like, I just know I'm preoccupied.
How are you guys keeping up with all these people? Because it's like all the PM messages. I mean, are you like writing every person that you message down to go back and do a follow-up?
Literally. I personally, like, I had to find the way of tracking that works for me. I tried Google Streak. I tried writing in a notebook. Every coach tracks a different way. It is important to find the best way of tracking that works for you. What I have finally found that's been working for me since I'm at home. Like before, when I was working on lunch break, working at home, working here, working there, I needed something I could take with me. So I was constantly writing things down. Now that I'm home, what works for me is I have a Google Doc that I created. I'm going to bring it up so I can see it. Where is it? Okay, so I have a Google Doc. And I made just a couple different tabs, and you guys may have different tabs, but this is what's working for me right now. Like, I have June prospects. I have invites. So I put the name, the date I invited them. Sorry, my computer's being weird. So yeah, I have the day I invited them, any notes. And then I have new conversation. So I'm writing, all right, who did I start conversations with each day? I have, if they said no or not right now, I started a column for that. So I'll follow up with them in a month or two. So that, like, just keeping little notes on them, and like people that said no on my invites, I literally I made that box red so I know not to follow up with them. So that's working for me. I would recommend tracking, because finding a way to track in the beginning that works for you is going to be much better than trying to find a way to track when you have a downline of like 3,000 like Anita does. So yeah, like there's different ways. Like just figure out what works best for you. Like, are you a pen and paper person where you're going to write down every person you start a conversation with, what day and how it went? You know, it is some trial and error in that area, because we're all different people. We're going to find what works best for us.
See, I started that, but I was getting so many invites. I was writing like 30 people down in a day. I mean, it was like getting old really fast.
Well, maybe like, so like, were you also doing like the other things? Like, were you starting conversations? Were you like going through like all the activities on the business activity tracker?
I was getting so many from the post. I'm assuming from the post that I was making on other sites where people were checking out my pages and hitting to friend me, that I was going back through those people. When they would send a request, I would hit the like, and then I was trying to go in and message, you know, a good portion of those people. And it's been really, really high in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, I can't begin to do them all.
And that's why, like, you don't have to, like, you don't want to overwhelm yourself and try to do too much too fast before you have a good system, because then you're just going to overwhelm yourself and like want to take a step back. Like when I first started coaching, I did it was the power of 3, and you'll hear this time and time again. Invite 3 people a day, start 3 new conversations a day, friend 3 new people a day, follow up with 3 new people a day, and do each of those things 3 times. So I started with 3, and then I went to 5, and then I did 10, and now I'm at like 15 to 20 invites a day, and things like that. So, you know, if 30 is a lot in the beginning, like, not saying don't do it or you can't do it, but like, if you don't have a good system, you're going to overwhelm yourself. And like, I went through a period where I was like, oh my God, all these people are friending me. And I would look, and it was all like Rodan and Fields people. It was It Works people. It was like all these other multi-level marketing. Because I think when like they somehow, whatever algorithm Facebook uses to like suggest friends, like all of these people were friending me. So I just kept popping up as a suggestion for all of the other people. So like, absolutely. And I started, like, if I see someone that I'm looking at their page to possibly friend, if they do It Works, if they do Rodan and Fields, if they do any of that stuff, I don't even bother, because you can't be part of more than one MLM. So I don't even like bother with them. Like, if they...
Plus, they're not as good as Beachbody.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, yeah, like, I'm sorry. Like, okay, this like side note, I just have to say, like, this It Works girl who I realized I was Facebook with, like, post a picture of her Chick-fil-A meal, and then like the bottle of like Fat Blasters. Like, it's all good. I'm just gonna take my Fat Blasters after. I'm like, I just don't understand. Like, okay, like this girlfriend of me, and I like saw she owned her own business. I was like, hey, like, what do you do? I see you're in your business. And she's like, oh, I'm from It Works. Have you ever heard of it? I was like, yeah, I have. And she was like, oh, have you ever tried the products? I was like, no, doesn't align with my values. I'm a Beachbody coach. Like, you can see that by looking at my page. Like, not that everyone has their own thing. Of course, I'm biased because Beachbody is the best, and we give people a lifestyle. But yeah, just a little side note: if people are friending you, it's up to you. If people friend me from Rodan and Fields, like, I'm not going to say no, but like, if I'm going to look for people to add to my network, I don't look to add other network marketers, because you could send that friend request in a better place, in my opinion. So that's what I got on building relationships and friending people. Any other questions you guys have, or any other thoughts that you want to share? Questions on anything tonight?
When it comes to like following up with people, I tried the whole list thing, but seemed like too much extra work for me personally.
Okay.
So what I just do is I go through my messages and see like who I have to, like I basically go through who I have to follow up on. And then from that, I'll follow up, and then I'll make like a list of who I want to follow up with tomorrow. So I just go day by day.
That works. I mean,
when I go back to inviting and everything, I would just kind of like, before I would go to bed, I would put a list of who I wanted to talk with tomorrow. So it's in my head. I remembered, and it would be the first opportunity that I got. I would just, like I said, copy and paste those messages and follow up or invite whoever those people were that kind of popped into my head, because people come into your mind a lot, but then you quickly forget and get distracted. But if you write it down, and then like, just even if you have a lot of people that you're thinking of, just put down 3. Just do that 3, and then if you're done, then put another 3. But just take it day by day.
Exactly. You don't have to make like a big list, like, or I'll just go like, instead of like making a list of people to follow up with, like something I do is like, okay, I'm like, okay, who did I invite? And I'll go like, if I haven't heard from them in 24 hours, because I write down like the date I invited someone, I'm like, oops, didn't hear back from them. I'm going to go back to them. Like, that works for me. Tony, your way works for you. Like, that's why, like,
yeah, you find your own.
You find your own way. There's no, I mean, we all do the same things. We just might do them in a little bit of a different way. And that's okay. Like, nothing wrong. Like, my way isn't better than Tony's way, isn't better than Kayla's way, isn't better than Ruby's way.
Yeah.
That's why we're a team, and we help each other, and we share our ideas, and we have fun.
So excited for New Orleans, by the way.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Wait, I'm going Wednesday to Monday now.
It's a long time.
It saved me $700.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm doing like 2 different transfers, so that way it's way cheaper. Because the direct flight would have been like $1,000.
Oh, so I'm getting there Wednesday because the girl I'm staying with, Candace, she got the rooms from Wednesday to Sunday. So I'm like looking up, and I like looked it up a couple weeks ago. Like, I was like, I got to book my flight. I got to book my flight. But like with the wedding and the honeymoon, like, I was just like, we've had so many things on our plate. So like Anthony and I sat down and looked at it yesterday. I'm like, got to book my flight. And there's 2 flights out of Philly on Wednesday. And one's in the morning, one's at like 6:40. And we're like, like the morning one will be easier because Anthony will drop me off. Like, I don't want him to go into Philly at like rush hour. So flying out in the morning and flying back like midday Sunday, the flight was $1,300. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like, it's ridiculous.
Oh my God. So I'm like, oh, holy shit. Like, I can't do that. Even like flying Wednesday night was still like $1,000, and then the room. And then I'm like, we have our credit cards from the wedding. I'm like, oh my God, like this is insane. So I'm like playing around with it today. I'm like, well, maybe if I stay till Monday and get a cheap room alone Sunday night, like maybe it'll be a little bit cheaper. So then I started exploring other rates. So I looked, and if I fly out Wednesday night and just take the crappier flight, stay till Monday, so take the crappier flight Wednesday, fly out Monday, instead of $1,300, my flight is $498.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
$498. And then I can get a room Sunday night for $119. And then I owe $328 to Candace. So altogether, that's $937 for my flight, hotel rooms Wednesday to Monday.
Yeah.
$937 versus like a $1,300 flight and then the rooms. I'm like, yes, I was so proud of myself when I figured that out. Because I'm like, literally, I added it up, and I'm saving us $700. Like, so yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And Anthony's like, you're okay to stay by yourself Sunday night? I'm like, to save us $700? Hell yeah. I flew to freaking Punta Cana alone. I think I can stay in New Orleans one night by myself.
That's so true.
But yeah, just a little side note. But anyways, I'm super freaking pumped for New Orleans. Like, we're going to have